from blaming her boyfriend for her own failures
He's still been overeating and doing things he shouldn't.
to making Dr. Now lose his mind.
I'm sick and tired of wasting my time coming here, bringing all the people working for you, and you do nothing.
Here are 13 moments that turned my 600-pound life into pure chaos on camera. Starting with one of the show's most unfiltered confrontations between Maya and her boyfriend Christian. From the start, Maya's story was filled with emotional arguments that seemed to follow her everywhere.
Christian and I are headed to Houston today, but we're both really nervous about this whole trip. So we've been fighting for most of the morning.
The tension was visible from the start, when an airport meltdown left Maya visibly distressed and angry, as she vented that no one understood her pain.
So, and I'm upset right now because my legs hurt and the lady lied to me about how far it was because I would have made other arrangements for me to get here if I knew how far it was. I understand that I'm a big person, but it doesn't give people the right to lie to me.
The tension only got worse in their hotel room, leading to their first big fight. And almost immediately, Maya lashed out at Christian for not being more helpful, criticizing and accusing him of failing to grasp her struggle. But her fights weren't just with Christian. Even before leaving for Houston, a confrontation with her mother set a sour tone, and she left for Houston, tearful and feeling utterly abandoned.
Things happen.
Stop
You weren't
talking.
planned.
Just stop talking.
You know, this is why we have family fights. It's because of you. You won't change.
And this blame game continued in her medical appointments too. In one particularly emotional breakdown at Dr. Now's clinic, Maya immediately shifted the blame onto Christian for her own failure to lose weight.
This is your fault.
Oh, you haven't lost that much. Yeah.
Because of the stress of you treating me like this. I'm about to melt down.
Whenever he tried to defend himself, she became argumentative and refused to take any accountability. And just like that, the ongoing fights with Christian eventually reached a breaking point. Watching Christian take all the abuse was too much for the viewers, so much so that one commented, "This man is no longer a supportive boyfriend. He's a hostage." And after reportedly feeling like a verbal punching bag for every attempt at support, he became so emotionally drained that he made the final decision to leave. Viewers couldn't help but share their frustration with Maya's behavior, saying, "I cannot believe, as a grown-ass woman, she called her mom to tell him to stay in a relationship with her. Then she has the audacity to blame him for her weight gain." Over time, her confrontations with Dr. Now also became a recurring theme, as they always circled back to her lack of accountability. He would directly challenge her for not following the program, and Maya would counter by blaming outside stress or a lack of support, only to have Dr. Now bluntly refuse these excuses.
You also have an option to make a choice that doesn't damage your health. So none of this is an acceptable excuse.
I'm sorry.
In the end, all the constant drama and fights ultimately made her one of the show's most talked about patients. While Maya's support system eventually walked out on her, Lisa, in contrast, was so combative that she actively pushed hers away with her tantrums. In fact, when looking back at the most defiant and confrontational participants, Lisa Fleming's episode is almost always near the top of the list. Her journey was defined not only by a constant cycle of explosive arguments, but also by a steadfast refusal to follow the program. From the very beginning, her appointments with Dr. Now were filled with tension, as Lisa would consistently lie about her food intake. She insisted that she was following the diet even as the scale showed a weight increase.
My concern is that if you started the diet I send you, you should have easily been able to lose good amount of weight.
Dr. Now saw right through her dishonesty, so he repeatedly challenged her and warned her that her excuses were putting her surgery in jeopardy. This refusal to follow the rules hit its peak during her hospital stay, when she convinced her boyfriend to sneak in junk food despite the doctor's orders, making it one of the biggest acts of defiance on the show.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight. Herbert is sneaking in junk food for you. And you two keep lying about it.
Her behavior kept getting worse, and in one particularly dramatic incident, she lashed out in front of her family and hospital staff, playing the victim and blaming everyone else instead of owning up to her actions.
It's not working.
it.
You're absolutely right about that. Because the help is with you, and we give you all the tools you need to lose weight.
And it's still not helping me.
Lisa's complaints were too much, not only for the medical staff, but also for the viewers who said, "This woman got on my nerves. I'd go insane just hearing her complain for 5 minutes." Ultimately, Lisa's combative behavior had its own brutal consequence, as she was officially removed from Dr. Now's care for non-compliance.
And you have no respect for the program or the care and tools you have been given. So as of right now, you're no longer on the program.
Because of her unwillingness to change and constant lying, the viewers felt unapologetic towards her, with one stating, "I thought I was going to feel bad, but after seeing Lisa's attitude, I don't feel sorry. For her family, yes. Her, no." Lisa eventually passed away, and her story remains one of the show's strongest cautionary tales. It shows how constant arguments, manipulation, and refusing to change can lead to a tragic downfall. While Lisa's story is defined by the external chaos she created, Jeanne's was more about the inner struggles that made any real progress impossible. Her lying behavior was clear from the first appointment, where she tried to hide her eating habits from Dr. Now. However, the most defining moment of tension occurred during an appointment where instead of losing weight, she had actually gained, thereby reversing her entire progress and leading to a heated argument.
Because I'm gonna prove you wrong that I can do this. I'm gonna do it.
You told me 2 months ago that you will do it. And until you're willing to be honest, not much will change.
Dr. Now expressed his disappointment and urged her to take responsibility, but Jeanne became defensive and resisted any form of accountability.
You're like a person falling off the cliff, and we're throwing a rope for you, and you're screaming that we're not helping you. Because you don't want to do the work to climb up.
Viewers couldn't help but comment on her resistance, saying, "It drives me insane that almost all of them truly seem to believe that they know more about weight loss, health, and nutrition than Dr. Now." Her confrontations often spiraled into heated arguments, fueled by denial and a refusal to face reality. Instead of acknowledging her condition, she deflected blame and lashed out, turning every attempt to help into another emotional clash.
I hate people. I hate people. They think that having some kind of disability, that it's funny, you know, because they're normal or whatever.
And for many viewers, Jeanne's episode hit hard, as they commented, "It's sad for them that they think the weight loss surgery will solve their problems. Without change and effort on her part, the surgery could harm them and make things worse." Jeanne ultimately left the program on her own terms, while Lacy's heated behavior led to her being dramatically abandoned and left stranded. Lacy Buckingham's episode is often remembered as one of the most intensely frustrating to watch, primarily because of the explosive and manipulative dynamics that defined her entire journey.
And as far as I'm concerned, there's no greater pleasure in this world than eating food. It's a more pleasure button for me than sex.
The tension started almost immediately. From the very beginning of the long drive, Lacy's constant complaints about discomfort clashed with the growing frustration of Ricky's sister, Sharon. Sharon was openly skeptical, questioning whether Lacy's relationship with her brother was genuine and suspecting that she was just using him.
It's not love. We all know it's not love. I think it's more like she needs somebody to take care of her.
The situation was worsened by constant stops for bathroom emergencies and food, which wore down everyone's patience. However, as the trip dragged on, Sharon's patience completely vanished, leading to even louder and harsher confrontations in the car.
You are not ready to lose weight. You have stopped my life, and I have way more important things to worry about.
This entire act angered viewers so much that one viewer commented, "Narcissistic people will cause the calmest people to lose their minds." The whole trip hit its breaking point at a gas station near Houston. Lacy, who was emotionally drained and exhausted, made a desperate and shocking attempt to regain the upper hand by calling 911.
The driver, Sharon Gilmore, and my ex-fiance, Ricky, are driving me to Pasadena, Texas. I'm scared because I'm going to be dropped off in this parking lot. I am disabled.
This chaotic scene, which involved police intervention, was the final straw and led to the immediate end of Lacy and Ricky's relationship.
I made a promise to God to take care of you. I never broke it. Why would it hurt you?
You wouldn't hurt me, Sharon.
You said them at me.
But that wasn't all. In a final harsh move, Ricky and Sharon donated Lacy's belongings and left her stranded at the gas station, thus marking the dramatic end of their support. This trip remains one of the most intense and explosive in the show's history, the moment when Lacy's manipulation finally backfired and her relationship completely fell apart. Viewers actually cheered for the outcome, with one saying, "Thank God Ricky broke up with Lacy instead of continuing to dig himself into a deeper hole." While Lacy's heated moments were manipulative tricks for control, Angie's confrontations were pure rage, fueled by deep family issues. In fact, when it comes to volatile participants, Angie J's episode is in a league of its own, defined by a series of arguments that left viewers stunned. The most memorable and disturbing confrontation was undoubtedly the verbal blow-up with her daughter, Desiree, which erupted when Desiree resisted moving to Houston because she didn't want to leave her boyfriend behind.
So you want me to leave my boyfriend, move to Texas, and be okay with that?
Oh, here we go. Dramas.
Right, I mean, how am I being
But your
dramatic?
boyfriend's not gonna be dramatic and call me a
But the conflict didn't stop at home, because Angie was repeatedly locked in fights with her husband, Justin, whom she frequently abused of sabotaging her journey and failing her as a partner.
Ain't nobody had to
and get your and go to your mama's house, because I'm sick of your attitude. I don't want you and I don't need you.
Her problematic attitude was noted by the audience, who said that she was definitely a piece of work, and I know she wasn't the only patient that was difficult around the same time. He's blessed with the patience. Their arguments became so severe and exhausting that Justin eventually reached his limit and left her. And it didn't just end there. Her appointments with Dr. Now were just as combative, as she consistently fought back against his instructions. She flat out denied drug use, even when confronted with a toxicology report.
And it's not just that. There are multiple other narcotics we found. So don't think you can do this, coming clean game, and deny the rest.
Viewers couldn't help but vent their frustration, saying, "Yeah, she was just a shit person." There was something so not even entertaining but hard to look away from with their family dynamic. When they were trying to lie about not being drug addicts to Dr. Now, that was one of the most "oh, come on" moments in the show. These sessions turned tense fast as Angie accused Dr. Now of being unfair, while he called out her constant excuses and manipulation.
If you want to change your life, you're going to have to sit with the diet. Don't be wishy-washy about it. If you're wishy-washy about it, stay where you are.
However, to the audience, Angie was one of the worst. 3 times during her episode, she blamed 3 separate people that would be at fault if she failed. In the end, Angie J's arguments with almost everyone involved in her life created a perfect storm of conflict, leaving an overwhelmingly negative impression on everyone who watched. Yet she still believes that Dr. Now was the wrong one while she was right all along.
I don't care what any of the reports say. Dr. Now is wrong. And at this point, I feel like I've been nice. And I lost weight, a lot of weight.
While Angie's fights were about avoiding accountability, Nicole's arguments were raw reactions to a lack of support, stemming from a lifetime of relational trauma that began in her childhood. One of the first heated moments viewers saw was a struggle in the hotel room that soon exploded into a screaming argument with her family.
Every damn thing I say you contradict and talk, you little. I about hit the floor and I had to hold my body weight up because he wasn't in here and just lollygagged.
The argument kept getting worse, this time with her partner Charlie, while he was driving. When he started going over the speed limit, Nicole's anxiety shot up, and things quickly turned into a full-blown fight. However, this reaction wasn't without a reason. Nicole's struggles were deeply rooted in her upbringing, as she grew up in a household completely overshadowed by her parents' substance abuse. Their addiction fueled an environment of constant arguments and instability, which reached a traumatic peak when her house was raided by police, an event that not only risked them being homeless, but also left Nicole feeling profoundly unsafe and unsupported. The constant fights in her family meant that Nicole was raised amid the near-constant clashes that involved shouting and blame, and these arguments forced her into the impossible position of having to mediate.
I handle all your job applications, talk to real estate agents.
Right, and I'm not saying you don't do nothing.
But in Ohio, we had a house and kids had a place to stay and play, huh?
As a result, the stress and open conflict became a major source of her emotional eating. Viewers couldn't help but feel sorry for the kids who are living in such a toxic environment, saying, her poor kids are going to be really warped from all her drama. And it also made them sad and sympathetic towards Nicole, so much so that one viewer expressed, "One of the most emotional stories. Nicole battled so much. My heart went out to her. Her parents did not deserve her." This pattern of conflict followed her to Houston, especially when people around her were unsupportive or broke their promises to eat healthy.
I'm really tired of microwave food.
I didn't know what you guys was eating for supper, and I ate a bunch of pizza.
What?
In the end, Nicole's journey was full of emotional struggles, and every fight, past or present, made her path to change even harder. While family conflict was a primary trigger for both Nicole and Lacy Hodder, Lacy's story shows how parental arguments can be just as draining and detrimental to the progress as the substance abuse in Nicole's past.
My parents started fighting a lot about the finances, and my mom felt my dad wasn't trying hard enough and that he was being lazy. So the fighting got really bad. But that's when I started to realize food was a huge comfort for me. It was there for me when I was lonely, and now it was there for me when I was scared.
The most pivotal moment was a major blowout fight with her family during the trip to Houston, where the situation quickly escalated into a major confrontation, and Lacy, who was already struggling physically and emotionally, was forced into the role of mediator.
Closet. Dad, stop!
This family confrontation made viewers believe the whole family needs therapy. The dad has anger issues, the mom seems manipulative, and you can see the damage it did to their daughter. The sheer insanity and negativity of this fight were so draining that Lacy seriously considered whether she had the strength to continue pursuing surgery, which pushed her into a state of isolation and deep doubt.
I called Dr. Now and told him about how I'm struggling with having second thoughts about weight loss surgery, and how my family fighting and all the stress of that made me wonder if I could truly give up what has helped me cope my whole life.
To make things worse, her relationship with her mother remained a constant source of tension. The way she treated Lacy made many viewers frustrated, who said, "That mom is a bloody nightmare. I can see why there are so many issues in the household." In the end, Lacy's own family drama and stress were as big of a problem as her weight, and her emotional outbursts almost ruined her chance to get better. However, unlike Lacy, Lee Sutton from Season 6, Episode 1 used his manipulation and ego to get into arguments and fight his way through irrational fights. Despite showing initial progress and qualifying for Dr. Now's weight loss surgery, Lee was still not ready to let go of his previous habits and the lifestyle he had grown so fond of. But more than his lack of accountability, it was the way he treated his girlfriend, Rena, constantly abusing and picking fights with her. On top of that, Lee even prevented Rena from reaching the most significant step of her journey, all due to his own manipulation and selfishness.
He knows he's overeating, but it was completely selfish of him because it's my turn to get weight loss surgery. Things are even worse than ever.
His controlling behavior only got worse when Rena revealed something far more disturbing about his attitude towards her in their conversation. And although Lee tried to play it off while acting smug, he'd only make things even worse with what he said afterwards.
Doesn't matter anymore. It ain't gonna work. I do not desire to be with you. We are never ever going to see eye to eye, no matter what.
This confession, followed by their heated banter, did not sit well with the viewers, who were far more disappointed than they were at his spiraling eating habits. He was abusive before his surgery too. He just couldn't reach her. May he get what he deserves. But more than that, they showed concern for Rena, who was sacrificing almost everything just to be in a relationship with Lee, even her mental health and patience that should never be compromised. Lee doesn't deserve to be in a relationship if that's how he treats someone who has essentially helped keep him alive for the past decade. This attitude and lack of responsibility would only lead him downhill. But on his next weigh-in, Lee received a shocking reality check. By only losing 9 pounds even after getting a gastric bypass, Lee was barely making any progress, and Dr. Now was not very happy about it.
What in the world is going on with you?
I guess I'm eating the wrong things.
You think it's funny?
Instead of owning up, Lee tried to play dumb, pretending he didn't know what went wrong. But Dr. Now wasn't buying it for a second. And what followed was an even more heated exchange between the two, considering Lee was not up for admitting his own fault anytime soon, and he even resorted to giving baseless excuses, all while knowing they're of no use.
Not eating and you're getting
I don't want to get malnourished either.
Do you look like you're malnourished? You're overeating, and whatever you're overeating, you're torn up.
The argument finally concluded with Lee storming out of the clinic, still not willing to take responsibility. Lee's addiction to his food and his unwillingness to change his ways ended up becoming a bottleneck for his progress. Much like Anjanette Whaley from Season 7, Episode 14, whose emotional connection to her body and her diet made her almost ruin her near-perfect relationship with her girlfriend Erica. As part of the therapy session, Anjanette and Erica both wrote goals they had for the years to come.
Marriage, travel, children, a house, a good job, being able to see both our families, to be able to trust each other and go back to school.
But when Anjanette shared her goals, it was clear she had something completely different planned out for herself that didn't include Erica.
Skin surgery, focus on the diet, GED, move home to be around my family, stability, become my own person.
What was supposed to be a healing moment instead turned into heartbreak. The more Erica listened, the more she realized Anjanette's priorities weren't love. They were control.
It's whatever you want, right?
No?
Yeah, it is. It's what you say goes.
That's not fair.
Yep, and it's fair for me, right? Oregon.
And when confronted, Anjanette twisted the truth, gaslighting Erica, convincing her that this was somehow all part of her self-improvement journey.
Never, because at the end of the day, you can make the decision.
No, at the end of the day, you have every choice in your life, and you are a grown-ass woman, so you need to stop. The point is, you're being selfish because I'm trying to accommodate you and understand that.
How is that accommodating me?
As expected, viewers couldn't stomach it. Comments flooded in, calling out her manipulative behavior, saying Erica was so hurt and that girl was just calling her selfish and screaming at her. You can do better, Erica. Anjanette's manipulation would only worsen as the argument moved forward, which led to her terribly hurting Erica and making her feel worthless and defeated.
Live your life, because now you get to be free. That's all it is.
While also leading the fans to realize that she was the bottleneck of her progress and the real problem with the relationship all along. She clearly didn't want to be in a relationship, but she wanted the breakup to be her girlfriend's idea. She's manipulative as fuck. And while Anjanette used manipulation and emotional abuse to dodge accountability in her argument with Erica, Margaret from Season 7, Episode 9 relied on pure stubbornness to twist things her way.
Why is she providing you too much food and keep you at this weight?
Because it's easier not to fight me.
Despite being in grave danger, Margaret was firm in her stance and openly admitted to her own inconsistencies, almost as if defiance was her coping mechanism. On top of that, even after being asked to finally go home after her stay in the hospital, Margaret decided to throw a fit and blame her legs for not working well as an excuse to stay longer and avoid taking responsibility.
What's wrong with your right leg?
It just doesn't work.
What do you mean doesn't work?
It hurts to do anything with it.
So what causing that? When you left the hospital after you had weight loss surgery, you were walking. And now you can't, and you just stay in the bed. Why are you going to that dark area that you want?
Doctor Now saw through her lies and confronted her head on.
Well, the problem is that you just saying things for us, but you have intention opposite of what you're telling us. All the things indicate that you don't want to get better, you don't want to walk, you don't want to lose any weight, and you want to get pain medicine and all kind of narcotics and stay in the bed. So why are you doing all this?
But instead of responding like an adult, Margaret doubled down and threw a full-blown tantrum rather than taking an ounce of accountability.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, it's not arguing, just answer the question.
I'm done talking.
You what?
I'm done talking.
You're not gonna talk because you don't want to admit it.
Oh, it's so true. Yes, it is.
Just answer the question and talk.
I have nothing to answer.
And don't lie about it.
I have nothing to answer.
Yeah, you have a lot to answer.
No, I don't.
Okay.
At this point, even Dr. Now was fed up with the act she was putting on and toned up his voice with frustration.
We did the weight loss surgery on you, and you're responsible for your health.
Yep.
This is not in here to sit down and manipulate everything and get everything you want. You're abusing the system, and this is not the way that you're gonna scream and cry and get your way out of it. That is not the solution for your problem right now.
But more than that, he warned her that this path of denial and blame shifting would only drag her further down unless she changed course immediately.
Are you gonna change, or do you wanna continue what you're doing right now? Be honest about it. Don't lie about it. If you wanna stay in bed and eat yourself to death and let everybody leave you alone and not do physical therapy, you're good in manipulating things, but you manipulate them toward bad health, manipulate them into killing yourself.
But Margaret seemed to have already made up her mind this time, as she doubled down with screaming, arguing, and doing anything to avoid facing herself.
I'm not dealing with this.
What are you crying because you want to manipulate people to agree?
Okay, I'm able to the system. I did it all.
You're not going to be able to manipulate your way around me.
I'm done. I'm not dealing with this.
At this point, even the viewers had enough, saying, "Can't help anybody who doesn't help themselves. Impossible." However, Dr. Now was still not ready to give up and kept urging her to admit she was at fault.
You may be able to manipulate other people to get what you want, but you're not going to be able to manipulate me. We did the surgery and we told you go home and keep working with PTE and psychotherapy. And then after a month, you stopped doing everything. You didn't show up, and now you just stay in the bed and not walk, and you haven't lost any weight. Which part of that is not true?
But Margaret took it a mile further by doing something extremely childish yet again.
Come get me now. Come get me now. I don't care. I'm done. You either come get me, Mama, or I'm missing bigger. I don't want to get out of here. I'm done.
Her behavior sparked another wave of criticism. How rude the way she called her mom and demanded she come get her. That's the biggest child I've heard of. And so sick of her crying and pretending to be the victim in all situations. Margaret's tantrums ended up making things harder for her in the program, the same way they did for Schenee Murray from Season 6, Episode 13, who often indulged in illogical banters with both her husband and Dr. Now without thinking twice. One of her most unforgettable moments came after she stopped attending her appointments altogether, a move that pushed Dr. Now to question whether she even wanted to change. And while it was expected of her to be consistent with her checkups to maintain a consistent weight loss,
today I had a doctor's appointment and I woke up late for it, and I'm not going because I'm very swollen. I do have fluid in my legs and I have so much to do and I'm tired. And by the time I get done running around and doing everything I have to, it will be late.
Instead of owning up, Schenee went straight to the blame game, tossing out one of the weakest excuses anyone had ever heard. She also framed it to make herself believe that she wasn't in the wrong, and the excuses she put forward were legitimate. However, Dr. Now was not ready to let this inconsistency go without taking notice and calling her to check in on her. Schenee, however, looked least bothered by whatever he had to ask or say and continued acting indifferent.
I just literally got into my apartment yesterday, so I'm not going to be able to make it today to my doctor's appointment, but I did reschedule.
But Dr. Now had enough of her excuses and was unwilling to give her a pass this time.
No. You were supposed to lose 30 pounds by today. So I think this is just another excuse because you know you have been overeating again. And you probably haven't lost any weight.
Schenee also started getting involved in illogical arguments and again gave more delusional excuses to defend herself and her stalled progress.
I haven't had time to start eating healthy. I haven't had time to do anything.
There is no excuse for you eating as much as you do.
I don't eat that much, but I still have water gain. And you tried to say, no, that is not fluid, but it is. I know my body. I've been in this body for 28 years.
This time, however, Dr. Now started getting more irritated and gave Schenee a reality check she desperately needed.
Schenee, you've been in that body for 28 years, but I've been practicing medicine for twice that amount of time, and I know what I'm talking about. Your weight is not a result of water. It is a result of fat, okay? So how many times do we have to go with this?
The argument only escalated when Schenee decided to raise her voice and talk back, all while not making any sense.
And I understand that, but certain things you say is not true.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you simple science, and you don't want to listen, so don't try to teach me medicine.
Oh, I'm not trying to teach you medicine. but I'm trying to teach you about my body.
This was criticized by the viewers who had grown tired of her excuses and her bickering up until this point. If you don't take accountability for your actions, you'll never know you have a problem. When Schenee realized that the conversation was not going in her favor, she decided to top it all off with another delusional idea to push off any accountability from her shoulders.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in God?
What does that have to do with this discussion? What I'm telling you is not a matter of faith. It's a matter of medicine and science and physiology.
And I understand that, but do you believe in God?
This is medicine.
Well, I believe in God, and I believe that God is gonna take me as far as He wants me to. He put me on this earth. If He wants me to have this surgery, He will. And if He doesn't, I won't. It's in His timing when this is gonna happen.
By this point, viewers had lost all patience. Her arrogance and refusal to take responsibility left them infuriated, with comments like, "I can't stand when people use religion as a crutch and don't realize that you have to put in the work. God isn't going to make 30 pounds fall off your body." Despite it all, Schenee clung to her delusions until eventually Dr. Now had had enough and he called her out for the delusion she was brewing with.
Schenee, what you're saying is a bad delusional state.
Bad delusional state? Really? This is not no bad delusional state. This is not no psychologic eval, anything like that. I asked you, did you believe in God? And I don't want to have someone work on me that I cannot trust, because this is my life.
Okay, this is your life and you're not handling it very well. That's the point I'm making.
This made her resort to a new way to make the argument turn in her favor, and instead of defending herself, she switched and started blaming and questioning the credibility of Dr. Now instead.
You're not the only doctor, sorry to tell you, Dr. Nazardin, that also helps with weight loss. There is a lot of doctors that does. Yes, you might be a good one, but there's nobody in this world that's great and that's perfect.
You're trying to attack me?
I'm trying to attack you. I'm really trying to attack you. That's how you feel? And then you tell me that I'm not in the right state of mind, really?
At this point, it was clear that Schenee had already decided that she had won the argument.
I asked you, did you believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God. But what I'm saying is that God doesn't just magically take away the consequence of your bad choices. If you jump off a building, you're not going to see this hand magically reaching down to save you.
Oh, yes, He will. Yes, He will.
Okay, the moral is that you are responsible for your behavior, not God, okay?
I'm just asking you a question, but that's fine. I think our conversation is done right now, and you have a blessed day, doctor. Good day.
And while she used delusions to get herself out of the argument with Dr. Now, Stephen Asante used emotional manipulation and deception as his weapon of choice. Appearing on Season 5, Episode 13 of the show, Stephen's psychological condition pushed him into illogical arguments and massive fights with anyone who did not put up with his needs and demands. This was the exact attitude he put up when his personal assistant resigned from her job.
Because I lost my temper at Princess again when she was taking a while to get my prescription. And she told me she was going to resign as my personal care assistant. So I don't know who's going to get my prescription for me now and take care of me. She also said she's going to take back my TV set since it belongs to the healthcare company and that they lent it to me. But I'm not letting her do that. She can drop off the pills, get me something to eat, and go.
However, the real trouble began when she mentioned the TV Stephen had been using so frequently.
But Stephen refuses to listen to me, so I just cannot work like that. You do know that the good old TV was a loaner. It goes with me today.
Stephen was not gonna let this slide and went to great lengths to protect the TV from going anywhere, all because he wasn't willing to sacrifice his ego and give in to Princess' orders, and thus he did something no one had imagined.
I need a police officer here immediately, please. My personal care attendant here bought me a TV, okay? She bought it as a gift for me, and now she's trying to take it away from me. She's mad that she's losing her job. It ain't my problem she didn't do her job. Who is it?
Me.
I'm instructed not to let you in yet until the police get here.
Till the police get
Yeah,
here?
Princess is trying to get in the house. What do I do?
What?
The TV's not being taken out until we see the proof. You wanna wait?
Of course, because that TV coming with me.
The TV ain't going nowhere. It was a gift.
It was a loaner.
It was a gift.
I'm gonna call another caregiver and have them deal with you.
We wanna see the proof, that's all, baby doll.
Grow up, you and your dad, how about that?
However, the list of people Steven took offense against and bashed when things didn't go his way also included his father, who tried to help him out in every way he could, but always received criticism in return, like when he did when Steven complained of receiving no fast food for his untimely cravings.
I ain't got no food here. If you don't believe me, ask Princess.
That's not my fucking problem. That's your problem, not mine.
No, I did not get any food today.
You had 3 meals delivered, sorry.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, guess what? I don't have no money and I am broke. So you can threaten me all you want.
Well, then there's gonna be issues.
Then there's gonna be issues. I will shut my phone off and so ain't Jasmine. Goodbye.
Don't come down here.
Bye.
Never.
Bye.
Never, ever.
Viewers watching couldn't help but comment on his childish behavior and the way he treats people, saying he's the most rude person ever. If he didn't have these people helping him 24/7, he would literally be dead because he's too lazy to care for himself. Yet this wasn't even the worst argument he had been part of on the show. During this time frame, Steven had also grown addicted to his own pain medicine excessively, and that addiction pushed him to go to great measures.
Steven just got a prescription filled, and it's hydrocodone, and it was 100 count, and they're gone. So he took the equivalent to knock out an elephant. I think that he have a slight problem.
Seeing no change in Steven's attitude, Dr. Now was more than disappointed to see the kind of life Steven was living and the diet he was not following, despite being asked to multiple times.
How many times you order pizza since you've been here?
Probably like 2.
Two times that she knows. How many times that she didn't know that you ordered pizza? Don't look at her.
Well, when I first got here to the apartment, I had a pizza. I feel the guilt every time I eat it, I do.
I don't want to hear about your guilt.
It was clear, however, that Steven was least bothered by all that Dr. Now had to say. Viewers couldn't help but share their anger by saying, Steven has to be Dr. Now's worst patient. Anytime he doesn't get what he wants, he throws a fit like a little kid. However, it all built up to a moment where Dr. Now completely lost his cool, going as far as to threaten something unexpected, all because of Steven's relentless attitude throughout the episode.
What are they doing? They calling the ambulance?
No, the ambulance isn't authorized to take you home.
So who's gonna take me home?
I don't know.
So what do I gotta do? This is gonna be another story in the press? I am already in the press. So if I call and tell them what's going on right now, it's gonna be a whole nother story in the news that's gonna be worldwide, guaranteed. I want the news number now, because I'm not gonna be stuck here. They're gonna threaten me and tell me the ambulance is not authorized to pick me up.
Can we shut that door?
I want the number then.
See, you want to go to jail?
No, sir. But they
I'm gonna put you in jail if you raise your voice for me and in here. If you don't behave, call the police department.
But while Steven's arguments benefited him in getting out of taking any ounce of responsibility, James King played victim and acted oblivious through it all, triggering an even more heated meltdown from Dr. Now. Weighing in at nearly 800 pounds when he first appeared on the show in Season 5, Episode 10, James was completely bedridden and barely able to move his legs. His condition was critical, and Dr. Now made it clear that without immediate intervention, James had only months to live.
He's not lost any weight, and he's worse off now.
We're gonna just have to stick to the plan of making the change of going to the
There is
protein.
no we, it's you.
Well,
There's no we, it's you.
Right.
You are bringing the food, you're helping him to kill him.
But the real problem wasn't just James. It was his girlfriend, Lisa, who seemed determined to sabotage every step of his recovery. Her negligence to follow the plan only triggered Dr. Now to confront her.
So why are you doing that?
Because if I don't bring it to him, I will pay hell the rest of the day.
How the hell is he gonna raise the hell in the bed
if we don't give him what he
He
wants.
can scream all he wants to. Don't tell me that. You are the one that you got him in this bed, and you're the one making his life miserable right now.
I've been trying to get him out of that bed.
No, you're not.
But
If you did last time I talked to you, you changed his diet. It doesn't look like he lost any weight.
Dr. Now also made it clear that if her enabling behavior didn't stop anytime soon, he would have to choose an ultimatum because of her lack of responsibility.
Is this a lifestyle of a human being? This is a miserable lifestyle. And you got him into this shape, and you blaming everybody and him.
I'm not blaming everybody. I'm not blaming him.
Look, if you all don't change the diet right now, he's going to go back to Kentucky. I'm not going to take care of him.
But even after his repeated reprimands, Lisa grew even more defensive about her behavior, now claiming that she had nothing to do with his weight gain to begin with. Despite repeated warnings from Dr. Now, neither he nor Lisa made any real effort to lose weight. In fact, he ended up gaining even more. Lisa knew what was in for her now that James had gained more than what he had lost during the stay. As expected, Dr. Now was not too happy about this, nor was he willing to entertain any excuses, especially from Lisa.
You're 844 pounds, so we're both finally on the same page that you're not sticking to the diet.
We have slipped a few times. I had car trouble. We didn't have a way to get food, so we had to order food in.
Doesn't matter what you say, okay? The scale is going to tell me what I need to know.
Right.
And what you tell me is not the reality about his eating habit, because that doesn't make any sense. Things are so bad. They're really, if you continue like that, I don't think you're going to live to the end of year.
James was not willing to admit his fault, and thus he put forward another illogical excuse to defend his progress and get out of the difficult conversation.
You know that I'm just now getting the resources that I've been needing.
We're talking about your food. We're not talking anything
All
else.
of it, I've needed all of it though to start with. I haven't had home health. I've had nothing.
Are you telling me that to start? What did that have to do with your eating habit?
Well,
You should have lost right now. You should
I asked for a
100 pounds.
nutritionist when I first got here too. I didn't get it.
James, this is ridiculous. What nutrition you need except the instruction that I gave you
Because
that
I'm
works
having to
everybody else can follow them except you.
I had to retrain my body from eating cheeseburgers.
You gained 100 pounds and you're saying it's not your fault? That you needed to retrain your body? Seriously? You're eating yourself to death and you don't want to quit that.
The argument only escalated when Dr. Now decided to give James and Lisa a reality check, considering they'd been taking it all for granted for too long.
And that's your responsibility. Nobody else is in here. You got yourself in this bed. And you're overeating and she's bringing it to you and then you come here, oh, we have been following, maybe you slip a couple times. Yeah. You really think you can lie your way out of this? You can't gain over 100 pounds by cheating just a little. You've been eating almost 10,000 calories a day. That's almost 13 times of what you should be eating in a day. I mean, this is just mind-boggling.
Following this, Dr. Now confronted who he deemed the root cause of all of this.
Why won't you stop overfeeding him?
I don't know what the issue is. I know, like I said, that he has cheated some, but I will not bring him nothing else.
Is not some, is every day and every hour and every meal.
But both Lisa and James weren't willing to admit how they had been going against all the rules, and this only added to Dr. Now's frustration and anger.
What do you want to do with your life? You want to stay in the bed till you die?
No, I want to get out of it.
How?
Lose weight.
How?
Eat right.
So why haven't done it up to this point?
I don't know.
This also raised a question about their attitude towards Dr. Now, with one viewer commenting, "I can't believe these two treat a man who's trying to save his life, whose entire career is seeing and helping people like them, with such level of disrespect." This was frustrating to watch. The worst part was how both of them were equally oblivious of what they did, and neither of them was willing to take any responsibility at all. Even in his Where Are They Now episode, aired months after this argument, James' condition had barely changed for the better. He was still slacking off, and his health had only deteriorated. Amidst Dr. Now talking to James, Lisa again tried to intervene and gave more excuses to defend James' deteriorating health.
Well, we're going to make some more changes, but can you please?
Lisa, I don't believe a word you said. You know how many times you say this? And at this point, whether it is intentional or not is irrelevant, because there's no argument. You're killing him. And you both keep coming here and playing games.
Dr. Now, but can you please...
Which only infuriated Dr. Now, since they had been given too many chances to get their act together.
Our plan is to put him on a certain diet, and you follow the diet and give him proper amount of food so he doesn't get himself to 750 pounds. You do your part and he does his part, or I'm through with you. You understand this?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I'm sick and tired of wasting my time coming here, bringing all the people working for you, and you do nothing.
Even after Dr. Now's repeated attempts to save James, Lisa still tried to fight back by trying to frame him as the offender.
We need you to help us. We don't need you to degrade us, okay?
It's not
We need you to help us.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
Despite being the one who made all the mistakes, Lisa was not ready to let the argument slide and kept provoking Dr. Now.
We don't have to be degraded and put down like that. We're trying.
I'm not degrading you. You're the one who is degrading everyone here. When you come in and undo all the weight loss and rehabilitation we given to James.
Following Lisa's lead, James too blamed nothing but the circumstances around him and the supposed lack of resources for his stalled progress.
James, can you smell your body decaying in filth? Is it something that bothered you?
Well, yeah.
Why can't we do anything about it?
I don't know. I ain't had no antibiotics or nothing.
Antibiotic is not going to be your problem. Your problem is your weight.
I understand that, doctor, but you got to get the infection down.
And the whole antibiotic in the world is not going to take it down, because you got so many areas that are hidden from the circulation in your leg that no blood supply is going to get to it. The only solution is to lose weight. And all I see is that Lisa brings you the food that's killing you. And frankly, I don't appreciate that you guys coming in and lie to me that we're following the diet.
I told you I cheated a couple times.
A couple times is not going to get you to 750 pounds.
See, no matter what I tell you, you're not going to believe me, but that's okay.
Unsurprisingly, James did not make any effort until the end, proving the fact that Lisa might be trying to kill him, but he is a willing accomplice in his own murder.